you like NASCAR? Do you like A Tribe Called Quest? Well, you gonna love the Urban Conservative.
Do you like manwich and nachos? Well, then you'd love the Urban Conservative.
Do you like guns? Do you like butter? Well, you're gonna love the Urban Conservative.
Yo, what's good, son? You like pit bulls, say? You like solving Sudoku puzzles? Then you gonna love the Urban Conservative.
Hey, buddy, if your car making a sound like this, you might want to get you some power steering fluid and check out the Urban Conservative podcast.
Are you repulsed by the idea of drag queen story time at your local library, but enjoy Carol Baskin TikTok memes? Then you would enjoy the Urban Conservative. Do you want to slap your boss and then go home and make yourself some golden brown pancakes covered in butter and freshly made warm boysenberry syrup? Then you'll love the Urban Conservative. If you're a little over Cardi B and you're repulsed by the thought of Hogmaw, check out the Urban Conservative. You ready? If you think the earth is flat and always on that weird side of YouTube, check out the Urban Conservative. They'll set you straight.
If you're in a chasing dopey and you love saltfish and festival, check out the Urban Conservative.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know what it is. It's Monday night. It's 8 p.m. It's time for the Urban Conservative podcast. I am Abdul Ali, joined by my twin brother Raheem, Architect Soto.
Yep.
Every Monday night, 8 p.m., you're here with us on the Urban Conservative, and Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. right here for Top of the Morning. The Urban Conservative has a mission of sharing conservative values and principles to urban communities across this great nation of ours. If you haven't done so already, please jump over to tuconservative.com. Please get yourself one of those Hamilton plans. It's a great way to support us. Keep the dice rolling while we're doing the little thing we be doing. We know Biden inflation got everything expensive, but the Hamilton plan's still only $10. Also, you can grab yourself a hat, a mug, a t-shirt, sponsor an episode of the show so you can get a commercial like you saw on the outset of the platform. I'm looking forward to an interview we have coming up on the 24th of this month. We've got Representative Ken Fontenot representing Nash and Wilson Counties, House District 24. The Urban Conservative is the place to get it straight from the source. You do not want to miss Monday the 24th, 8 p.m. I just realized the 24th on the 24th, House District 24 on the 24th. I promise you, bro, I didn't do that on purpose.
Maybe you did.
Little slip of some sort. But shouts out to everybody that supports the platform. Big ups to all of our underwriters, Senator Newton, and everybody else that supports what we do here at the Urban Conservative, ladies and gentlemen. Bro, start of another week. We had a good show this morning. Top of the morning went well. Now we're back for the night. Got a couple of interesting things to cover. I don't even believe this first story, bro. I don't even believe it.
All right, we're gonna try to work through this as best we can. The Dalai Lama addresses backlash after asking child to suck his tongue, sir. I'm gonna let that marinate. Hold on, kill the music. I said the Dalai Lama is addressing backlash after asking a child to suck his tongue. Not a grown-up. Not a what's the female version of a Dalai Lama? A Dalai Lamina? What's it? A Dalmina? Not the Dalmina. I don't know. folks.
If you don't know, the 14th Dalai Lama, known to the Tibetan people as Gyalwa Rinpoche, is the current Dalai Lama and also the highest spiritual leader and head of the country of Tibet since 1940. He is considered a living bodhisattva, specifically an emanation, I'm going to give this a shot, of Avalokitesvara in Sanskrit and Chinzenren in Tibetan. So they believe that he is a reincarnation of a Buddhist monk, of a really high-ranking Buddhist monk. That's why and he's supposed to be like the spiritual leader of Tibet. But talk to me about this tongue-sucking thing. I don't even know how to process that.
The Dalai Lama apologized for an interaction with a young boy on Monday after disturbed viewers saw the religious leader ask the boy to suck my tongue. The 87-year-old exile religious leader of Tibet was holding a public event when the interaction occurred. His representatives say the boy approached the Dalai Lama-ness and asked for a hug. The two interacted for several moments, and footage circulating on social media shows the boy responding to the leader's request to suck my tongue. A video clip has been circulating that shows a recent meeting when a young boy asks for blah, 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 blah. Okay.
Hold on. So, oh my God, it's the Dalai Lama. Hey, Dalai Lama, can I have a hug? Yes, you can, young man, after you suck my tongue. What?
Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm not going to play this, but is that on the screen?
I don't see anything on the screen but the
Oh, you don't
Lama.
see nothing? All right, hold on. Because I got this tab over here.
Yeah.
Let me drag
I'm confused, though. I just don't even understand. I don't even understand.
To wrap my brain.
Here, I'm gonna put it on
this.
here.
No. I got it right here. It's right here. Here you go. I'm gonna just let that rock out in your mind. I ain't playing it. Yeah, his tongue is out, and he asked the little boy to, in fact, yeah.
So you ain't finna give me. This was a show of his faith. I was trying to see if he was the reincarnation of the 14th Bodhisattva Vada. That
Okay, maybe we're just not understanding how people play, or like, maybe in Tibet that is a sign of respect.
We live at a time where you could Google stuff, right?
I mean, it's got to be something. This has to be a clearly a misunderstanding.
So now I have to further entrench my Google search after the week we've had last week and putting stuff in. You don't got a good track record right now of sending me stuff to look up right now. You just don't have a good track record right now.
That ain't on me though. That ain't on.
Stick out tongue in Tibet. I don't know.
Okay, try that. His Holiness, a video clip. It says His Holiness
sticking out one's tongue is a sign of respect or agreement and was often used as a traditional greeting in Tibetan culture. According to Tibetan folklore, a cruel 9th century Tibetan king had a black tongue, so people stick out their tongue to show that they are not like him and aren't his reincarnation. Now, that don't say nothing about sucking no tongue. That is the Cross Currents East Asian History and Cultural Review Institute of the East Asia Studies at UC Berkeley that said that. Sticking out the tongue is a sign of respect or an agreement. But I don't see anything on the UC Berkeley website here that says anything. It don't say anything about sucking on nobody's tongue, bro.
Maybe we're just not understanding his culture and his traditions and his,
There you go. It's right there. I mean,
maybe he's being diverse and inclusive and bringing the equity of his tongue to everyone, and you have to consider it is a holy tongue. It is the holiest. Yes, it is a holy tongue, and
the Bodhisattva tongue.
Yes, and you know, upon
So
sucking his
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. What is his response? What is the what is His Holiness the Dalai Lama saying in response?
he just said he regretted. He, you know, he regrets the incident. You know, he was just playing. I was just playing. I was just playing. You know, I was just playing a little bit. That's his response. I was kidding. It's an innocent joke. You know, I wasn't serious. So
How do
that's what
you
you got.
do you Dalai Lama somebody for something like that?
I wonder if
How
you
do you
can.
cancel? Do you can
You
does the Dalai
Dalai
Lama get
Lama.
canceled is the question.
I don't know, but how do you Dalai Lama somebody? That is a.
Because
Can
that
you
don't
be?
seem Dalai Lama-ish to me.
Well, I mean, maybe it does. I don't know too much about the history of these folks. So who knows? Who knows if in fact he I mean, we don't know. Maybe he has a history of this type of stuff. And apparently, the whatchamacallit, I've
Ah,
seen
yo,
some.
bro. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, bro. You're gonna judge me, and I'm gonna get in trouble for this. I am a big fan of the Golden Child. I don't recall any tongue sucking in the Golden Child, bro.
Oh, come on. Come.
Yeah, I don't recall anybody. Yeah. Too Short. What was his name? What was not Too Short? What was his name? Short Run.
I have no idea.
Little Asian dude in that. Yeah. What the Last Emperor of Tibet. None of them people. No Asian movie I've ever seen. I've
Okay.
watched a lot of kung fu movies, bro.
Fair enough.
Lot of kung. I watched Shaolin versus Lama. Okay,
And nobody got their tongue sucked.
no, deadly tongue
Might have got
sucking
their
style.
tongue kicked out their mouth, but they didn't get tongue. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Urban Conservative Podcast for Monday night. I sound depressed because I just had to read an article about the Dalai Lama, you know, in a light other than I would like to read about the Dalai Lama because I sound peaceful. Dalai Lama. You think peaceful when you hear that, right? You think spiritual enlightenment. Then he say, "Come here, little boy, suck my tongue." Like what the hell? We'll be right back after this commercial break. Jeez Louise.
Just because you're black doesn't mean you have to vote Democrat. This year, in order to see benefits for our communities, we need to vote outside the box. Find out more by visiting us at tuconservative.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're checking out the Urban Conservative Podcast live on a Monday night. I am Abdul Ali, as always, joined by my twin brother Raheem, Architect Soto. We hope you are enjoying the show. If you haven't done so already, please jump over to tuconservative.com. Get yourself one of those membership thingies. That'll help us keep the dice rolling while we do what we do over here. We just came off a real depressing story about Dalai Lama. Man, what a world. Other news, other things going on. We are still trying to figure out what in the world did they actually charge for. Like, what is it? Like, what did he do? Does it,
So
can anybody?
I want to play this, right? I want to play this interview from Fox News because the attorney for Trump, I think, was very eloquent in explaining what was going on here. So I think while we discuss this, we may want to have Mr. Takapino in the background here. I don't quite get it when all of the facts are laid out, Ali. This seems very frivolous, right? That's what it seems like. But listen to what he has to say.
Underlying crime that these
night, and everybody came down to the same conclusion. They didn't see how this warranted felony charges, yet the Manhattan DA says he's got new evidence. Do you know what the new evidence is, and when does he have to give it to you?
He doesn't have new evidence. It's spinning. And look, if he had new evidence, he would have listed it in the indictment. What he didn't put in the indictment was the underlying crime that.
So what's not in the indictment is the underlying crime.
These alleged false business records were intended to cover up. You know, it just said another crime. I mean, it could have been anything, right? Legally, he doesn't have to put it in the indictment, but he should have put it in the indictment because he's been, you know, talking about this case in his office, and all his leakers have been talking about this case for months about how strong it is. And that indictment, I think, further solidified the belief that there's nothing more than a political persecution, the weaponizing of the justice system.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, let me tell you first. First, I would love that guy to be my lawyer. I'd really like that.
Why is that? Why is that?
He comes across like he does not F around in the slightest. Like, yo, he gives me the
Fair enough.
Yeah. He might be able to either legally get you out of court or however he needs to get you out. He look like he's equipped. He just gives me the vibe of a guy that's very well equipped, is all I'm saying. Pause.
Fair enough. Whoa.
Issue, and the laws therein.
To take a plea deal than it is to go through the trial. It's going to be a very expensive and lengthy trial. Will the former president take a plea deal?
Rosanna,
no.
There's one thing in life I can guarantee you, aside from taxes and death, I guess, is that Donald Trump will never take a plea in this case.
He said that confidently.
Yeah,
this is
real.
not a case that's going to be resolved by plea. This case should be dismissed on papers because there's insufficiency in the charges in the law. There's a misapplication of the law. We're talking about a federal election campaign issue and the laws therein being charged by a state prosecutor when federal election officials did not charge Donald Trump.
That part is overlooked. That is
well,
overlooked.
Check this out. House Judiciary Chair Jim Jordan is actually escalating things against Manhattan District Attorney Bragg with a field hearing with a field hearing coming next week, just mere blocks from Bragg's offices. Bragg last week brought 34 charges of falsifying business records against Trump in a first criminal indictment of a former president in United States history. The charges stem from allegations that Trump unlawfully attempted to conceal a hush money payment made by his former lawyer, Michael Cohen, to keep adult film star Stormy Daniels quiet about the affair she alleged with Trump in 2006. Trump has strenuously denied the affair and dismissed the legitimacy of the case, despite Cohen previously pleading guilty and served time in prison as a result of his involvement. Numerous Republicans have adopted Trump's rhetoric and spoken out against the Manhattan case, decrying it as a politically motivated attempt to target him. Among the lawmakers is Jim Jordan, who pledged to use his position as chair of the House Judiciary to investigate Bragg in his case. The committee announced Monday that it would be holding a field hearing in Manhattan on the morning of April 17th at the Jacob Javits Federal Building, a few blocks from Bragg's office. Now, that sounds serious. I've never heard. Have you ever heard of a field hearing?
No, it's the first time for that. Never heard of a field hearing.
Yeah, I'm on my Googles right now. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, I think she must pay.
Hold on. A field hearing is a congressional hearing held outside of D.C. They date at least to the Civil War, when committees sometimes traveled to the front lines to observe conditions and war preparedness. Purposes of field hearings are to raise public visibility, provide an opportunity to evaluate a government program on site, reinforce a member's relationship with his or her constituents, and attract local and sometimes national media attention. This is going to be serious business, it sounds like. If they're going to be actually coming down to New York City to do a hearing.
All I could think of is
hold on. And this part right here, the sister hit the nail on the head.
I got it on the screen. She owes $120K more. So I don't know if that's on top of what she owed already.
Yikes.
You know what I'm saying? So if she owed more than that, I'd love for you to pull it up for us, because 600. Hold on, I'm trying to find that. 600 bands?
Well, here's what my question is, and I can show y'all right now. We could go on Instagram or YouTube or Tinder, Twitter. What's the other one with the T? TikTok.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you don't want to go on the Tinder one. Don't do that. But you go on there and you can see Donald Trump got a lot of support out there, and it's from more places than just the extreme MAGA Republicans, as they like to call it. What you pull up? What's that?
The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeal sided with the former president in his effort to recoup additional legal fees from adult film star Stormy Horseface Daniels, who had filed a
Did you
loss
just wait?
and
Stop.
defamation
Did you
suit
just
against
say?
him.
Why didn't you just say?
Daniels was ordered to pay Trump's attorneys just over $120,000 in legal fees. That's on top of more than $500,000 in court-ordered payments to Trump's attorneys. Yup, 600 bandos.
Bow, nail
600
on the
bandos.
head, Sister Erica King. Nail on the head.
So, but what did he actually do other than fix the country? Like, what's the claim that Trump did? Like, what is the claim here?
So the claim is that he falsified, I guess, 34 records of falsifying records. It's just, I can't tell. I mean, I don't know.
That's the point that we're trying to make here, that what they're charging him with is just absolutely mind-boggling. We're gonna keep plugging away at this and keep our eyes on it, because I'm really interested what's called a field hearing.
Yeah.
With the financial connections to that DA's office and all the other things that have been discovered about the husbands and the people involved in their political connections. I think it'll be rather interesting over the coming weeks as this unfolds. And guess what? We will be covering it. We will definitely cover it.
For sure. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a very, very quick commercial break right here on the Urban Conservative Podcast. We live on a Monday night. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back.
Just because you're black doesn't mean you have to vote Democrat. This year, in order to see benefits for our communities, we need to vote outside the box. Find out more by visiting us at tuconservative.com.
What up, ladies and gentlemen? You are live with us here, the TUC Twins, on the Urban Conservative Podcast. It's a Monday night. You're kicking it with Abdul Ali and Raheem, the architect Soto. Matter of fact, before we jump on to this next joint, bro, I gotta give just a beyond massive shout out to everybody that's down with the Frederick Douglass Foundation of North Carolina and the North Carolina Black Conservative Voices. May 12th, we need all of y'all in Anson County. We're gonna be out there doing the Douglas Lincoln debate, play, and dinner. I'll have that information posted up in the description of the video, but make sure you support your Frederick Douglass Foundation in North Carolina, FDFNC.org.
Well. Since you in the mood of sharing links, right? I'll take this moment to do a real shameless plug, right? If you don't mind, shameless plug. Also, don't forget, that's right, your boy Abdul Ali is running for North Carolina GOP vice chairman. So
this is true.
Just a reminder
This is true.
If you want to know more, make sure to visit the website, tuconservative.com. Hit that /Ali4 FORNC. And find out more about the campaign. Find out what the good brother got going on. But I had to take
I appreciate that. I
it.
appreciate that shameless plug, bro. And ladies and gentlemen, we will be. I'll be in a city near you, in a county near you. I've got. I'll be out in New Bern this week, and just all across the state. Just looking forward to getting out there, hearing from Republicans. Looking forward to helping to move the NCGOP in the right direction, because sometimes the status quo got to go, bro. Sometimes they got to go.
That's a fact. So what do we got on the tail end of this?
So speaking about the status quo, as you may know, if you live in North Carolina, we have listeners across the country, but we know some folks watch and listen in North Carolina. You may be aware that Representative Tricia Cotham recently, and I'll use the word they used in the press, defected from the Democrat Party to the Republican Party, giving the North Carolina Republicans a veto-proof supermajority in both the House and the Senate. Essentially, Roy Cooper can take it on back to the basement. He ain't got to do nothing. We can ride it out from here. And so there is a lot of uproar about Tricia Cotham leaving the Democrat Party and coming over to the Republican Party. Now, she gave a very, in my opinion, eloquent speech. She outlined that, and I think Ronald Reagan said it really good. The Democrat Party, you didn't leave the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party left her. And there's a lot of people. In my last 2 years as chairman in Cabarrus County, I'd be at the office and people would just walk in and say, "Look, I'm a lifelong Democrat. I've been down with the Democrat Party for a long time. I just can't get with where they are now. This anti-God thing, this late stage abortion thing, this critical race theory thing, this idea of everything revolves around the LGBTQ agenda, this whole idea of Democrat socialism, the squad and how far left they really want to push this country. That is not something that God-fearing Democrat people, because there are some. We've been very clear on this show, and whenever we're in different communities, we tell people this. We realize not all Democrats are good or bad, just like not all Republicans are good or bad. You have to be willing to take people meet people where they are and take them as individuals. And this young lady just so happens to be a God-fearing, American-loving person who feels like the Democrat Party has gone entirely too far to the left. So much so, berating the lady for using praying hands emojis, berating the lady for flying the American flag. It's why else would you want to be why would you want to be a part of something like that is the question. Why would you want to stick around and be a part of an organization or a group of people that don't even love the country? Now, North Carolina lawmaker Tricia Cotham again sparked some outrage among Democrats after defecting to the GOP this past Wednesday. Now they're calling her the traitor and asking her to resign. On Wednesday, she officially joined the GOP, giving us a supermajority. And Roy Cooper's out there saying she needs to still vote Democrat. He's basically asking her to still vote Democrat.
Yo, I switched parties, but still, I can't rock with y'all, but I'm gonna still vote for y'all. Nah. If she has any integrity, which she clearly has demonstrated, she has some because she
Well,
left.
she did say at a news conference at the GOP headquarters in Raleigh, it became very clear to me early on in January, that you better vote in line with everything Cooper tells you to do. I've always been a free thinker, a woman of faith, a person of independent judgment and common sense. She said that she was already considered a traitor by her then fellow Democrats for expressing opposing opinions and was pushed out of the party. Doesn't that sound like somebody we know, bro? Doesn't that sound like the MO of what they did to the brother we talked to before? They made it very clear they do not want me, she said. Her defection to the GOP has definitely increased the number of those accusing her of betraying the Democrats. Now, North Carolina Rep. Tricia Cotham, who won an election into a deep blue Charlotte area, said as a Democrat just 5 months ago, moves that tweeted Democrat commentator Kavian Schroff. Cotham is a traitor to democracy. And this is the quote: traitor, wolf in sheep's clothing, etc. So here's the thing. The left does not believe you have the capability to think for yourself, to change your mind. Doesn't that sound like that's the ultimate problem here, bro? It sounds
that sounds like, so was she all of those things up until that moment? Because if she was a wolf in sheep's clothing and a threat to democracy and all of these other things when she was on your team, let's just accept what you're saying to be true. Let's accept it. You understand what I'm saying, Ali? Let's say you're right and she's a threat to democracy and a wolf in sheep's clothing. Hasn't she always been one? But now she's not on your side of destroying democracy or on your side of she's not wolving for you. So now you want to call her out. Now, I'm not suggesting she's either one of those things. What I'm saying is if we were to follow this logically out, they're going to lie and tell the truth at the same daggone time, bro.
Certified fact. So here's what the question becomes. And this is a question we have to ask as Republicans, because I know we have a lot of people happy to see her switch parties. What if she doesn't vote the way you want her to vote? Then what happens then?
Oh, then I'm gonna go out there on a speculation and say somebody finds something to accuse her of or cancel her for. Something's gonna come up and it's gonna derail. Like, that's how they plan. they're clearly playing that type of dirty right now. Clearly, obviously.
So let me ask this question. Should her leaving the Democrat Party really, do you think this is a catalyst for more people to leave, that to say, you know what, she's right, this has gone a little too far?
I would hope so, but it's probably not the case because people are stupid. Like, just, I mean, at this point, if you haven't left on your own accord, if enough hasn't happened to your ass already and you ain't figured it out, you ain't spending all that money in the grocery store, you happy to pay more money for stuff? You're happy to have higher crime? You're happy that your kids are failing in school. You're happy to have transgender story hour or drag queen, whatever it. You're happy with these things? So what if I'm being honest, I don't think so, because the left stranglehold on the minds of the people is very, very strong. And I mean, I would hope she's an inspiration to people to realize, hey, the left, the Democrat Party does not reflect realistic values that sane people can stand on. People of faith, let's not even table people of faith. Rational thinking, logical, decent people. Like none of the ideas that the left is promoting makes any sense to rational, decent people. That's where I'll leave it.
All right, so this is Roy Cooper real quick. This is his tweet. Much has been made to do about Trisha Cotham switching from D to R in the legislature. If she keeps her word on the issues, her votes and the positions she takes in Republican caucus can still stop bad legislation that hurts people she promised to help, regardless of her party. So he's still wanting her to vote. He replying to some more. She has talked about her need for freedom of thought and standing up to her old party. The question is, can she also stand up to her new one, especially when they push an agenda she has fought against for years?
We'd have to pull her voting record and then see if she's voting in line with the Democrats lockstep. Next episode, we gonna see, because some people do make that political move, like I'm gonna switch, and then they get this bump, and then what's the point of the switch if you still voting in line with the other side? So we definitely got to see how this pans out over time, and how she votes is gonna determine that. That's gonna show us what she's really made of, right?
That is ultimately gonna show you what she's really made of. And the fact of the matter is, you can look up and see where she's voted already. You can go right to the NC House of Representative, the NC legislature, and pull up her vote, just like I'm doing right now. You can pull up the person and see what they did, see what they voted on those issues. But I think that's the right thing. That's the right direction to take it, is just to let it go. Let's see what she does on the issues that come up. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll keep our eye on it. It has been a Monday night on the Urban Conservative Podcast Live. What we taken away from this is Trump didn't really do nothing we can figure out. The Dalai Lama need to stop telling people to suck his tongue. And we're going to see what Trisha Cotham does in the North Carolina legislature. And you too can leave the Democrat Party if you think they've gone too far left. So for my twin brother, Raheem Architect Soto, this is Abdul Ali. You've been checking out the Urban Conservative Podcast live on a Monday night. We'll see y'all tomorrow morning for Top of the Morning at 9 a.m. right here on the Urban Conservative. Peace. This season of the Urban Conservative Podcast is brought to you by Newton for Senate, working to improve education, reduce taxes, and keep North Carolina #1 for business. Find out more at newtonforsenate.com.
This episode of the Urban Conservative has also been sponsored by Case Technology Consulting. Help your business get value out of its data and become more efficient and streamlined. Case Technology Consulting. Check out the link in the description.